今日もお付き合いいただきありがとうございます。今日の主なニュースを英語でお送りします。
Prime Minister Takaichi denies her office created slanderous videos against other candidates during the LDP presidential election. She stated neither she nor her secretary met the man who claimed involvement. When asked about online communication with her secretary, she said she couldn't answer.
A microbus accident on the Banetsu Expressway in Fukushima happened soon after a rest stop. The 68-year-old driver, Tetsuo Wakayama, is suspected of causing the crash, injuring or killing 18 high school students. The bus left a service area 15 minutes before the incident. Wakayama claimed driving 90 by 100 kilometers per hour, but stated no health or skill issues. Police are investigating.
In the Tochigi robbery murder case, on-site directors Kato Takame and his wife Miyu were arrested. Neighbors reported Miyu's suspicious behavior, including driving a damaged black car and acting furtively. She was also seen with thug-like men and a baby near a luxury car. The victim's family had reported suspicious vehicles before the incident.
The Takamatsu and Fukuoka High Courts delivered the first two judgments regarding the one-vote disparity in February's House of Representatives election. Out of 16 lawsuits nationwide, both courts ruled that the election did not violate the Constitution. This decision affirms the legality of the electoral system despite the disparity.
Actress Yuko Fukui passed away on May 5th at 75 from esophageal cancer. Her agency announced her death on May 19th. Born in Nagano in 1951, Fukui starred in films like Suspect X and Oshukatsu and TV dramas including NHK's Suzuran and Kaibutsu-kun. Her funeral was a private family service.
Prime Minister Takaichi, currently visiting South Korea, has begun a summit meeting with South Korean President Lee Jae-myung. The discussions started around 2:30 p.m. at a hotel in Andong, southeastern South Korea. This marks a significant diplomatic engagement between the two nations to address various bilateral and regional issues.
The Japan Fair Trade Commission conducted an on-site inspection today, May 19th. This follows suspicions that 9 railway construction companies repeatedly engaged in bid rigging. They allegedly pre-arranged successful bidders for track-laying projects for the Hokkaido Shinkansen. The investigation aims to uncover the full extent of the suspected anti-competitive practices.
The Liberal Democratic Party proposed making My Number card acquisition mandatory for all citizens. Their Digital Japan 2026 proposal emphasizes universal card ownership for digital benefits, suggesting legal enforcement, but without penalties. It also recommends exploring mandatory registration of public fund reception accounts for swift cash payments like household support or disaster relief.
A survey of 7 governors in the Hokkaido Sanriku region revealed concerns about aftershock warning information. 6 believe government operations and content somewhat need improvement, citing public habituation. Most supported the warning's necessity, some recalling the M7 quake 2 days before the 2011 Great East Japan earthquake. Clearer priorities are requested.
A fake image of a woman in a police car showing a middle finger and tattoos is spreading online, falsely identified as a director in the Tochigi robbery murder case. Police confirm the image is unrelated and likely AI-generated. The actual female suspect was transported differently and had no hand tattoos. Some images even bear a Google AI watermark.
次は社会のニュースです。
On May 19th, The Takamatsu and Fukuoka high courts delivered their initial rulings on lawsuits concerning the vote disparity from this February's House of Representatives election. Both courts found the election constitutional, stating there was no violation. These were the first two judgments among 16 cases filed nationwide regarding the difference in vote value.
On May 19th, the Fair Trade Commission raided 9 railway construction companies. These firms are suspected of repeated bid rigging for Hokkaido Shinkansen track construction contracts. It is believed they pre-arranged which company would win the bids. This action aims to investigate the alleged cartel.
Unseasonal heat persists across Japan. On May 19th, temperatures again soared, reaching over 35 degrees Celsius in Date City, Fukushima Prefecture, making it an extreme heat day. Widespread severe heat is affecting areas from Tohoku to Kyushu. People are urged to take heat stroke precautions, including staying hydrated.
The Emperor Emeritus and Empress Emerita are staying at the Hayama Imperial Villa for a period of rest until May 26th. The Imperial Household Agency stated that their health currently has no major issues. This visit marks their first time at the villa since November 2025.
In Tochigi's Kamimikawa town, a robbery murder at a wealthy home left a mother and children dead or injured. 4 teenagers, recruited through dark buyite on social media, were arrested. They claimed an instructing couple threatened their families if they refused. Police are now investigating a criminal organization behind the instructors.
Japan's high-cost medical expense system changes from August monthly out-of-pocket limits will increase in 2 phases by August 2027, potentially raising burdens by up to 38%. A new annual cap is set for some, but patient groups oppose the changes. They argue many won't benefit, fearing catastrophic medical costs.
Regarding government and ruling party discussions on electricity and gas bill support measures for this summer, Economy, Trade and Industry Minister Akazawa stated his intention. He will proceed with necessary considerations, closely monitoring the future economic impact. The government aims to implement support for household energy costs.
A bill to establish a disaster management agency has passed the House of Representatives with majority support. This agency will act as a command center for disaster countermeasures, aiming for smooth and swift policy implementation. The bill has now been sent to the House of Councilors for further review.
The Tochigi robbery murder highlights Tokuryu crimes here. Anonymous, fluid groups recruit young people via social media for dark buyite. Unlike traditional gangs, these temporary networks turn youth into disposable perpetrators for serious crimes. The lack of internal brakes and immaturity can lead to unexpectedly brutal acts.
Japan and South Korea are finalizing a joint document on energy security cooperation for their summit today, May 19th. Due to Middle East tensions, they will consider mutual supply of petroleum products like jet fuel in emergencies. An industry and trade policy dialogue will also be established to strengthen cooperation.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
The Fair Trade Commission is investigating 9 construction companies for suspected bid rigging. This involves track work for the Hokkaido Shinkansen extension between Shin Hakodate Hokuto and Sapporo. The companies are suspected of pre-arranging successful bidders. The project owner, Japan Railway Construction, Transport and Technology Agency, is also under suspicion of involvement. The FTC is working to clarify the details.
Japan's economy grew by an annualized 2.1% in the January-March quarter, marking 2 consecutive quarters of growth. Exports increased by 1.7%, driven by automobiles and machinery. Personal consumption rose 0.3%, continuing its positive trend. Corporate capital investment also saw a 0.3% increase. However, future growth could be affected by the situation in the Middle East.
A bill to establish a disaster prevention agency has passed the House of Representatives with majority support. This new agency will act as the command center for disaster countermeasures. It will be set up within the cabinet to smoothly and quickly promote disaster-related policies. The bill has now been sent to the House of Councilors.
A summit meeting between the leaders of Japan and South Korea has taken place. This high-level diplomatic event involved discussions between the heads of both nations. While the report confirms the occurrence of this meeting, specific details regarding the agenda or the outcomes of their talks were not provided. Further information regarding the summit is expected to be announced.
The Takamatsu High Court has ruled the February House of Representatives election constitutional. It rejected a lawsuit challenging the vote disparity, which reached a maximum of 2.10 times. This was the first ruling among 14 similar lawsuits nationwide. The Fukuoka High Court also issued a constitutional judgment on the election.
A U.S. federal court dismissed Elon Musk's lawsuit against OpenAI and CEO Sam Altman. Musk accused OpenAI of betraying its founding principle of benefiting humanity by pursuing profit. The court ruled the lawsuit was filed too late, as Musk was aware of the commercialization earlier. Musk, an OpenAI co-founder, plans to appeal the decision.
Price hikes on everyday goods are spreading due to the Middle East situation, driving up raw material costs and supply concerns. Japan will mass-produce package printing using fewer organic solvents as procurement is unstable. Separately, S.T. Corporation will raise prices for heat pads and disposable gloves by 10 to 30% from August 3rd, citing increased raw material and logistics costs.
Consulting firms are facing successive suspensions from government contracts due to fraudulent activities. Deloitte Tomatsu Telework Center was suspended for overcharging personnel expenses by 31 million yen. Another Deloitte Group company, Stonebeat Security, received a suspension for working outside designated locations. Accenture was also suspended for unauthorized subcontracting.
The House of Representatives Constitution Examination Commission will hold its second discussion on May 21st. This discussion will focus on a draft image of an emergency clause prepared by the House of Representatives Legislative Bureau. Ruling and opposition parties agreed to continue their deliberations on this proposal.
The House of Councilors Cabinet Committee held expert hearings on a bill to establish a national intelligence agency. Some experts supported consolidating information for better policy decisions. However, others raised concerns about potential misuse of information and stressed the importance of a third-party oversight body to ensure proper handling.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Dodgers pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 27, pitched 7 innings, allowing just 1 run against the Padres on May 18th. He threw a season-high 107 pitches. However, with no run support, the Dodgers lost 0-1, giving Yamamoto his 4th defeat. The single run came from a first-inning home run, which he called a very regrettable mistake pitch.
The Dodgers suffered a 0-1 shutout loss to the Padres on May 18th, ending their 5-game winning streak and falling to second place. Shohei Ohtani had 2 hits and a walk, extending his multi-hit streak to 3 games. Despite Yoshinobu Yamamoto's excellent 7-inning, 1-run pitching, the Dodgers' offense couldn't provide any runs.
Cubs pitcher Shota Imanaga had his worst outing of the season on May 18th against the Brewers. He was pulled after just 4 1/3 innings, giving up a season-high 8 runs on 9 hits, including 2 home runs. This painful performance meant he missed his fifth win, with his ERA rising to 3.38. Home fans sighed in disappointment.
Following the conviction of former carp player Ryutaro Hazuki for using zombie tobacco, multiple carp players underwent urine tests. Hazuki claimed other carp players also used the drug. However, investigative sources confirmed that the tests found no evidence of drug use among other players. The team now plans to re-interview all its players.
Brazil announced its 26-member squad for the 2026 FIFA World Cup on May 18th. Star forward Neymar, 34, made a surprise return, selected for his fourth consecutive World Cup after a long absence due to injuries. The squad also includes top players like Vinicius and Casemiro, as Brazil targets a record sixth championship title.
Japan's national soccer team for the FIFA World Cup will reportedly have about 10 backup players. Coach Hajime Moriyasu has asked several players like Yuki Soma to be ready. This is a precaution against injuries or illness among the 26 main squad members, ensuring the team is fully prepared for the tournament starting June 11th.
Takumi Minamino, who was excluded from Japan's World Cup squad due to injury, is expected to accompany the national team as a mental support role. The 31-year-old player will provide off-field encouragement and experience to the team during the tournament, helping to maintain morale and focus.
In Grand Sumo's summer tournament, Ozeki Kirishima secured his Kachikoshi winning record on day 9 by defeating Wakako Motoharu. His record now stands at 8 wins and 1 loss, placing him back in sole possession of the lead. This victory marks a significant step towards a potential championship title for the Ozeki.
Atsuto Uchida, a former Japan men's national team player, and Yukari Kinga, who contributed to Nadeshiko Japan's first Women's World Cup victory, have been appointed as coaches for the Nadeshiko Japan women's national soccer team. Their appointments aim to strengthen the team with their extensive experience and knowledge.
A major potential fight between Naoya Inoue, 33, and Jesse Bam Rodriguez, 26, is gaining traction. Boxing Scene reported on May 18th that if Rodriguez wins the WBA bantamweight title on June 13th, a match against Inoue would be unavoidable and likely held in Japan. Promoter Eddie Hearn believes Rodriguez is eager to challenge Inoue soon.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
President Trump postponed a planned re-attack on Iran, set for May 19th. He cited requests from Gulf nations, hoping for an acceptable agreement to end the conflict. This deal would prohibit Iran from having nuclear weapons. Trump noted serious negotiations are ongoing with positive progress, but also ordered preparations for a full attack if talks fail.
3 people, including a security guard, died in a shooting at a San Diego, California mosque on May 18th. 2 teenage suspects, aged 17 and 18, were found dead in a nearby car, believed to be suicides. Children and staff at the mosque's school evacuated safely. Police and the FBI are investigating the incident.
A summit between Prime Minister Takaichi and South Korean President Lee Jae-myung has begun. The meeting started around 2:30 p.m. at a hotel in Andong, southeastern South Korea. Prime Minister Takaichi is currently visiting South Korea for the discussions. This summit aims to strengthen relations between the two nations.
Starbucks Korea's CEO was dismissed following a controversial Tumblr event on May 18th, the Gwangju Democratization Movement anniversary. The event used terms like Tank Day, seen as mocking the movement. President Lee Jae-myung criticized it as inhumane. The executive responsible was also dismissed, and disciplinary action is planned for involved staff.
Lebanon's health ministry reported over 3,000 deaths and 9,000 injuries since fighting between Hezbollah and Israeli forces resumed on March 2nd. As of May 18th, 3,020 people have died. Attacks continue despite an April 17th ceasefire. The U.S. State Department announced on May 15th a 45-day extension of the Israel-Lebanon ceasefire. Casualties may increase further.
Taiwan's parliament rejected an impeachment motion against President Lai Ching-te on May 19th. The motion proposed by opposition parties failed to gain the necessary two-thirds majority. President Lai, nearing 2 years in office, faces strong opposition on fiscal and China policies. Political tensions are expected to continue with local elections approaching.
WHO member states rejected inviting Taiwan to the annual World Health Assembly in Geneva on May 18th. China, supported by Pakistan, opposed the motion, stating it would not agree to Taiwan's participation. Palau argued Taiwan's exclusion weakens global disease surveillance. Taiwan is largely excluded from international organizations due to China viewing it as its territory.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un stated on May 17th that the borderline with South Korea must be an impenetrable fortress. At a military commanders meeting, he emphasized this as the party's territory defense policy. Kim declared South Korea an enemy state in December 2023, abandoning reunification goals. North Korea is building military infrastructure along the border.
An Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo has resulted in 106 deaths, confirmed by the African Union's Public Health Agency. One American citizen has also been confirmed infected. This situation has prompted countries to strengthen their surveillance efforts to monitor the disease's spread and contain the outbreak.
The Taliban interim government in Afghanistan has officially recognized child marriage. New marriage regulations state that a virgin girl's silence after reaching puberty is interpreted as consent. Human rights organizations strongly criticize this, arguing silence is not consent in an oppressed society, and demand immediate repeal of the regulations.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Actress Yuko Fukui has passed away at 75 due to esophageal cancer. Her agency announced her death on May 19th, stating she died on May 5th. Fukui was known for her roles in popular works, including the movie Suspect X's Devotion and the TV drama Suzerain. Her funeral was a private family service.
LARFIM member Kim Chae-won is taking a break from activities due to neck pain. Her agency announced on May 19th that doctors recommended rest for her recovery. She will not participate in pre-scheduled events. The agency stated her health is a top priority and they will fully support her return to stable health.
Director Yukiko Soda's film, All the Lovers in the Midnight, starring Yukino Kishi, was officially screened at the 79th Cannes International Film Festival. Selected for the Uncertain Regard section, it received warm applause. Director Sode Kishi and co-star Tadanobu Asano greeted the audience. The love story is based on Miyako Kawakami's novel.
Yusei Sai, a 15-year-old living in the U.S., won the Grand Prix at the Youth America Grand Prix Ballet competition. The results were announced on May 18th in Houston, and Takahashi, 14, won first place for females, and Sota Teranishi, 12, for males in the 12-14 age division.
Singer Shakira was acquitted of 2011 tax evasion charges by a Spanish court on May 18th. Authorities were ordered to return 60 million euros, about 11 billion yen, as her residency was not proven. Spanish authorities plan to appeal, so the money will not be returned until a final verdict.
and Hozuki and Shuri Amashiro, the top star pair of the Takarazuka Review's Moon Troupe, are preparing for their retirement. The announcement was made on May 18th. Their departure marks a significant change for the popular all-female theatrical company. Specific dates for their final performances are anticipated.
Shogi master Sota Fuji, 23, achieved his fourth consecutive Meijin title defense by defeating challenger Tetsuro Itodani. Fuji won the 84th Meijin series with a decisive 4-0 sweep. The final match concluded on May 17th in Takatsuki, Osaka. Fuji expressed his joy at the victory.
Screenwriter Jinichi Fukaya passed away on April 25th at 70. The Japan Writers Guild announced his death on May 19th. Fukaya was known for writing for Fuji TV's popular series Tales of the Unusual from its early days. He specialized in mystery and fantasy genres for many TV dramas.
Shogi master Sota Fuji, 23, achieved his fourth consecutive Meijin title defense by defeating challenger Tetsuro Itodani. Fuji won the 84th Meijin series with a decisive 4-0 sweep. The final match concluded on May 17th in Takatsuki, Osaka. Fuji expressed his joy at the victory.
Japan's first cinema complex, Aeon Cinema Ibaina, closed on May 17th after 33 years. Many Star Wars fans, some in cosplay, attended the final screenings. The cinema, a sacred place for fans, showed films on its THX-equipped Screen 7. Fans expressed gratitude and sadness.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。